And welcome back to Top Chair Sports for some Monday baseball action. I'm Spencer Miller.
And I'm Brett Boyle.
And we are reunited once again, and it feels so good.
It does, actually.
Yeah, it
really does.
I didn't like doing it
It's
for
much
myself.
better this way. Yeah.
All right, who cares? Let's talk some baseball. All right, early last week, it was announced that Dustin Pedroia may never play baseball ever again. Pedroia and the Red Sox organization both agreed it was best for the 14-year vet to step away from baseball activities indefinitely. And when Pedroia was asked if he'd play again, he said, quote, "I'm not sure." The 14-year career for Pedroia has been an incredible one.
It really has.
And he spent his entire career with the Red Sox, winning Rookie of the Year in 2007, MVP in 2008. He's had 4 All-Star selections, 4 Gold Gloves, and 1 Silver Slugger. However, since 2015, the second baseman's body hasn't been too kind to him. Injuries have allowed him to only play in 361 games over the 5-year span.
And I believe, along with his accolades, I believe he was on the cover of MLB 09, the show.
Yeah,
which was a great game
Probably
growing up.
After his MVP season.
Just a great player growing up.
Yeah,
sad to say.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
One of the best second basemen I've had the pleasure of watching.
Truly.
I have a Pedroia jersey. I didn't have it out here, so.
Well, next time. Just a couple weeks after we had the pleasure of reporting on that home run cycle that the Mariners hit, this week we have a new and potentially more exciting cycle to report on. Last week, Mariners center fielder Malik recorded 4 stolen bases and the stolen base cycle. What is most incredible about that is that he did it all in one trip around the bases. Holy cow, that's speed right there. After a walk in the 8th, he took advantage of his speed and swiped second on Kyle Bird's first pitch to Mitch Haniger. Then with a 1-1 count, he stole third. After walking Haniger, a relaxed pickoff attempt allowed Smith to take advantage and break home, completing his cycle. That is one of the rarer feats in baseball.
Definitely,
really don't see very often.
Probably the most impressive cycle you can do.
I would agree with
Unless there was like a, I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Derek Dietrich had one heck of a night against the Pirates this week. The 29-year-old belted 3 home runs against Brett's Buccos.
Yeah.
And it capped his streak of 6 home runs for his last 6 hits. Wow. It's a bit surprising that on the year, Dietrich has 17 home runs already, which is a career high for him. And
good for him.
He only has 32 hits. So over half of his hits, 1 out of every 2 hits is a home run for this guy. It's incredible.
Weird stat.
Yeah.
Mets rookie first baseman Pete Alonso is on pace for 56 long balls this year and has some impressive records within his reach. And a Wednesday loss to the Dodgers. Alonso hit 2 home runs, setting a record for the Mets and tying Mark McGwire for another. His 10 home runs in a month is the most ever for a New York Met rookie, and the 19 he's hit so far are the most since June 1st, tied with Big Mac for a rookie record. He also leads all rookies in home runs this season.
That's
so good for Pete Alonso.
Great,
Keep it up, bud.
Watch out for Austin Riley, though. He's coming for him. All right, Astros star shortstop Carlos Correa had his season put on hold after he cracked a rib during a massage at his home.
I also once had a massage injury similar to that.
Go on.
But no, that's for another time.
Off
camera, we'll talk about that.
While the Astros made it clear that this is common for players to receive treatment outside of what the team already provides, it's still one of the more bizarre injuries we have heard over the years. Specifically this year, he joins Yoenis Cespedes, who hurt his ankle at his ranch, let me just do the air quotes, stepping in a hole. And Blake Snell, who fractured his toe moving a granite stand in his house. Shout out to my fantasy, what's the word for a pitcher? Ace. My fantasy ace. Yes. We've seen other injuries such as this, like Madison Bumgarner. He hit the injured list because of a dirt bike accident a couple years ago. And Trevor Bauer, in the playoffs, messed up his pitching hand while trying to fix a drone.
And I remember a few years ago, I believe it was Kendrys Morales, after hitting a walk-off home run, broke his leg jumping to home plate.
Yeah.
Man. In other Astros news, Justin Verlander added to his impressive resume. Verlander moved to 21st on the all-time strikeout list, passing all-time great Cy Young, which I always just thought was the name for the award, but he was a pitcher.
Yes.
Look for him this year to pass other greats such as Mike Mussina, Mickey Lalich, and Jim Bunning to move to 18th all-time.
Impressive. Great career so far for Justin Verlander.
Oh, very much so.
Another week and another Austin Riley update. I just talked about him. There you go. The Braves' young
It's like you knew it was
phenom.
coming up.
It's like I wrote this myself. The Braves' young phenom can't stop hitting dingers. He now has 8 through his first 16 games as a Major League ball player, joining Carlos Delgado and recent home run mashers Trevor Story and Rhys Hoskins. We've also seen feats such as what Gary Sanchez did when he came up, Cody Bellinger. They immediately came up and did damage via the long ball. The ceiling continues to rise for Riley as he looks to make good on his highly touted potential.
Now, he wasn't born in West Philadelphia like me.
No?
Or like another Will Smith, but that did not stop Dodgers catcher Will Smith from smashing his first career home run for a walk-off win over the Phillies, ironically enough. His time at the MLB level may not last too long, but if he can prove to be an offensive weapon for the Dodgers, he may make the decision harder. For now, he'll just have to make the most of his opportunities while Austin Barnes is sidelined.
Love it. I'm actually really proud of that. I wrote that.
Yes.
Congratulations to Bruce Bochy on his 999th win for the San Francisco Giants. When we meet next, I'm sure he'll hit the 1,000 mark. Tip the cap.
Tip the cap.
He's won 3 World Series as the Giants manager and is just 50 wins from 2,000 career overall wins. A mark that may be hard for him to reach given the current state of the Giants. Regardless, he sits 11th all-time for wins and is tied for 6th all-time for World Series wins.
That was delicately put. You did that very, very, very kind for the Giants fans out there. Trading season is officially underway with those Philadelphia Phillies making the move for Mariners outfielder Jay Bruce, or 2 first names as I like to call him. The Mariners received minor leaguer Jake Shiner, I hardly know her, in return. Jay Bruce is having a somewhat underwhelming season, but still has plenty of pop to provide the Phils. Additionally, it gives the Phillies a capable left-handed bat. This is the first of, I'm sure, many moves for the Mariners in the coming months. After getting off to a hot start, the Mariners have fallen flat on their face.
Faceplant.
To, put it lightly.
Yeah.
Look for
That's
Edwin
not
Encarnacion, Malik, D. Gordon, and potentially more to be dealt at the deadline or before the deadline.
Yeah. They had a huge offseason, and now they're going to overhaul
They're falling
all
apart.
of it. Yeah. All right, the last bit of news for the week is a bit of an oddity. Zach Greinke is making headlines, but it's not for his blazing fastball. Instead, it's for his slow, ephus-like pitch that he has unleashed this year. Hitters have been unable to solve this pitch, going 0 for 31 in at-bats where this pitch is the final pitch of the at-bat. That's insane. It's also given Greinke 12 strikeouts on some ugly, ugly swings. He now has 80 pitches thrown under 70 miles per hour this year, which is the opposite of what we would expect in today's velocity-driven league. I believe Jordan Hicks has that many pitches over 100 this year.
You see, I've always wondered, you get a guy in like a 1-2, 0-2 count, he's expecting the fastball and a hard-breaking pitch, and then you just toss him up like a batting practice pitch, and they're not ready for it,
No,
so,
not at all.
Anyways, Triple Crown update. Triple Crown leaders are as follows. Cody Bellinger is still on top for batting average, although it has fallen to 376, a mediocre 376.
Mediocre. Abysmal, honestly. Get him out of here.
Christian Yelich remains atop the home run board with 22, and Josh Bell has reclaimed his spot atop the RBI list with 53 now.
That's incredible.
Yikes, yeah. It is worth noting that Bellinger is just 3 home runs and 2 RBIs away from getting all 3 categories, so he's right there.
What a year. He's MVP on the year so far.
Probably.
Yeah, there's no...
Yeah.
I don't see how anybody else could beat him. On the pitching side, Hyun-Jin Ryu remains atop the ERA leaderboard with a 1.48.
On my fantasy team.
Yep. Justin Verlander moves into a tie with Domingo Germán for the wins. Justin Verlander on my fantasy team. Both pitchers sit with 9, and Max Scherzer now has the top spot for strikeouts with a 15 strikeout performance. He now has 117 on the year. Lastly, Kirby Yates continues to be unbreakable with 22 saves in 22 opportunities.
Love the name.
Perfect.
Last but not least, standings. The Yankees have a 3-game lead over the Rays in the East, owning baseball's best record. The Twins have an 11.5-game lead over the White Sox and Indians, and are the only team in the Central above the 500 mark. And then the Astros hold an 8-game lead over the Rangers in the AL West.
Over in the NL, the Phillies hold a 1-game lead over the Braves. The Brew Crew is 1.5 games ahead of the Cubs in the Central, and the Dodgers, with the NL's best record, sit 9 games ahead of the Rockies. An early storyline that we're seeing this year, Brett, is the clear uncompetitive balance between the two leagues. Just 5 teams in the AL sit at least 1 game over 500, while in the NL, 8 teams sit above 500, or half.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
Doesn't. Additionally, despite having a win percentage below 500, the Pirates and the Mets both just sit 5 games out of their divisions.
Don't give us hope.
I'm just saying. And the division with the best team, so the NL West, 4 of their 5 teams sit at 500 or above. And that the Diamondbacks are in there.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing is over in the AL, we see the teams that, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Tigers, the Royals, all 4 of those teams.
Trash.
I don't know if any of them...
Not trash.
I don't know if any
but
of them
not
have...
great.
It's awful. It's bad.
Yeah.
So look for... They're going to try for 100 losses each. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of, what's tonight, Spencer?
Tonight is the MLB draft. So tune in next week. We'll discuss some of the picks, especially those that are most interesting or the ones that we think will have the quickest impact or the biggest impact.
Fast track to the league, stuff like that, yeah.
But that will do it for baseball this week. So leave a like, leave a comment.
Don't forget to smash that subscribe button.
Smash it right out of here. And tune in tomorrow to Top Cheddar when Brett and I talk NBA.
Ball drop.